right into it, shall we? Law of attraction. We've talked about this a couple of times now. So you kind of have the basics, you know what it is. It's kind of the idea that where your mindset is and where your focus is what you're broadcasting. And what you're broadcasting is always, always a perfect match to what you're receiving. And we've likened it to tuning your radio dial. When you're in a grouchy mood, your radio dial is tuned to, Grouchy 101 FM. And the only thing that you can pull in on that station is things that match grouchy. So you're going to have more and more experiences, you're going to run into other grouchy people, and you're going to have more and more experiences that make you feel more of the way you're already feeling. So if you can begin the practice of deliberately tuning your radio dial to channel Happy 99 AM or FM, whatever you prefer, SXM, Sirius, your Sirius station for happy, where they're playing Pharrell. I have a happy playlist. It probably wouldn't surprise you to know Pharrell is right on top. Then you're broadcasting happy. Your attitude is positive. You're cheerful and upbeat. And you don't have to be bubbly giddy all the time. I kind of am, but you don't have to be. As long as you're just not miserable and you're content and kind of in a state of appreciation, then you're going to be pulling in all of the things that match that. So that's basically law of attraction. It's what you focus on grows. And what you emit, you attract. And it's kind of very similar to, some of the spiritual rules we've been taught. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It means more than just it's kind of a nice thing to do. It means what you put out, you get back. There's another one. Ever mind the rule of 3. 3 times what thou givest returneth to thee. Same thing. Although in this case, the old line points out that what you send out gets magnified before it comes back to you. So that's an even better, reason to try to keep positive. So today, as promised, one easy, powerful thing you can do that will make your life better starting right now, today. And that thing is, and I don't want to be rude, but I'll say it the way I've been told it, it's to mind your own business. And here's what we mean by that. It is not anyone else's job to change their behavior in a way that will make you feel better. And it is not your job to change who you are or what you are to make anyone else feel better. Feeling good is an inside job. So as we begin to get this, we start to realize that when we're angry with the husband for forgetting the important date, what we're really saying is, if you would only change who you are and what you do and that habit that I don't like, I would feel better. If we're angry at the politicians for saying nasty and untrue things to each other, or for behind-the-scenes machinations, I must admit I got really off my zen the other day over some political revelations that came out, and it shook me. But I reeled myself back in because I know that my happiness, it's not their job to behave in ways that will make me feel better. My happiness is my own job. And if I can observe what's going on and not get upset, then that's fine. And if it's upsetting me, then it's my job to use my wisdom to turn my attention to something else that's going to make me feel better. And that's exactly what I did. So depending on other people to behave in ways that make you feel better, we've got to get rid of that. Now, this includes your kids. This includes, your children. Now, I have adult children, so I can relate to it from that angle, although my girls almost never do anything that would rock my boat. But there are parents who so disapprove of the lifestyles their children choose and the decisions that they're making. Some decisions that are even, from our perspective, destructive and dangerous. And some parents allow themselves to become so affected by those choices that the adult child is making that it sucks away their happiness. It sucks away, they're taking their focus off their own lives and living through the child, really, and they're in misery because they feel the child is making bad choices. Okay, so we know we want our kids to be happy and we want them to be wise, but the thing we have to get is that we're all here for our own journey. And if we think back to when we were young, we probably made some pretty bad decisions too. And we probably made some dangerous ones and risky ones. And all of it, all those mistakes were what made us who we are today. So the kids, the adult kids, have to have their own journey, and you just can't hang your happiness on it. There's an old saying that you're only as happy as your saddest child. And that just, you have to let go of that. You have to be able to love them, and support them, and be there for them, and advise them even if they want it, while keeping your own mood up. It doesn't help to jump into the pit of despair with the people who are down there. You have to stand up on the outside of the pit so that you can reach a hand down and help them out. And that's another old kind of standby thing. So the thing that you can do that is going to make your life better right now is to try to notice every time something someone else does affects your mood. Every time the rude person at the grocery store, the guy that cuts you off in traffic, the political ad you didn't like, the news report of some tragedy somewhere. Anytime something you see is affecting your mood, you are depending on outside sources to make you feel good. And we have to really train ourselves to get our feeling good from inside and from our connection to our higher self, to our source, to, whatever you call your divine energy, God, Goddess, the universe, I often say, because it has a little bit less of a trigger for some people. Some of those other words are triggers. And what I mean when I say God or Goddess may not be what other people are thinking I mean when I say that. So I say source, I say the universe. What I mean is the sum total of us all. That higher part of us sees what we're looking at in a very different way than we're seeing it if it's making us feel bad. Our higher power is looking at the child that is walking down the path and making the mistakes and seeing them growing and expanding and in absolute love and absolute success, acceptance and perfect non-judgmentalism. There's no judgment. There's no condemnation. There's no frowning and wishing they'd do things differently. There's only love and acceptance. Every experience is part of what we're here for. And we really do judge experiences as good and bad. We say that the alcoholic who spends his life in the gutter has wasted his life. And he hasn't wasted his life at all. That experience of living in from that perspective in that situation and going through all that he went through during his probably very short lifetime added to the expansion and the understanding of the whole. There is no such thing as a wasted life. And there's truly no such thing as a bad experience. It's all just experience. I like to think of it as actors choosing roles. The boring guy, the hero usually is he has a nice, he's honorable and upright, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and it's kind of a boring role. Some actors want to be the villain. Some actors want to be the antagonist. Some actors want to be the problem and take on the role that's a little more meaty and stir things up. Some actors want to choose the role that experiences the most drama, and that's an experience too. And while it may not be for me, I can't coach someone else to let go of their drama if that's what they came to experience. So the key thing is, every time we notice, and start noticing, that's really, really crucial. Start noticing. When your mood dips a little, take a pause and say, wait a minute, what just happened? Why did I just start feeling bad? And look around you and try to see what outside force just caused that. Because usually it's an outside source for feeling bad. So that is how you can begin this very day to make yourself happier. Every time you take that responsibility off someone else's shoulders for your well-being and take it on yourself, then you are doing it. You are getting there. You are getting it. And you're going to be happier and happier when you don't depend on anyone else to make you happy. If anything that I'm getting, I only share this because it's helped me so much. And it's just changed my life to be able to take charge and be empowered. And it's like every other part of my life has kind of followed suit as I started to be responsible for my own happiness. My relationship got better. Lance and I were not always the perfect couple you see before you now. Life just got so good for us so quickly as we started implementing these things, and I want everybody to feel this way. It would make me feel better if you would all feel as happy as I am right now. Wait, I just did the thing. See, there's an example. So we're going to start noticing when things that other people do are affecting our moods. We're going to try to stop judging people's actions as good or bad. Because good and bad really are in the eye of the beholder, and as I said, every experience feeds into the whole. So we're going to try to stop doing that. So when someone in your family that you love is living a lifestyle that you do not approve of, just remember that it's okay for them to do that, because they're not asking you to do it. It's kind of like, as Abraham puts it, you go to a big buffet and there's all this food all across the table, and you're looking around saying, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, take it away. I cannot imagine anyone would want that, and that. I do not like cream spinach, and I hate breaded liver, and I need you to take it away, because who would want that? And instead, we need to focus on taking the things we do like and not taking the things we don't like, but leaving other people the right to do so. If someone else wants the liver, we gotta let them have the liver, okay? They may have a very, very important reason for needing that liver. So just remember that no matter what other people do, this is the best advice for relationships that I can give anyone. Lance and I give each other the space and the freedom to be who we are and to do what we feel most like doing. And I do not gripe if he spends, time in his shop when I'd rather have him, watching TV with me or whatever. I go do my thing, and I find things that I enjoy too. And he doesn't gripe at me for doing this. For example, just this. It takes a lot of time. And I'm buying equipment, and I'm setting up, shots around the house, and he doesn't mind it one bit. He doesn't let it, I've had relationships where that wasn't the case, but we give each other the freedom in this space, and we keep constantly reminding each other, it's not your job to make me happy, and it's not my job to make you happy, and that's an inside job. And as a result, we're both very happy, and we have a lot of time together. That's great, and we just have a good time together or apart. We have a great time. So making sure that you get that, that it's not their job to make you happy. It's a really, really good mantra to just say to yourself when you start to get angry at your significant other. Just stop, take a deep breath, and say it's not his job to make me happy. So no one has to change their behavior to make you feel better. You get to make yourself feel better.